That's Mick Foley holding a giant cranberry.
I thought it looked kind of like Mick Foley.
And then the one with the dinner table is The Last Supper featuring only Roman Reigns. The one with the black and white one, I have no fucking idea what happened there. I forgot what I put. He's just sitting there like, God, Keith Lee looks so fucking good right now.
I mean, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. Keith Lee. Hi. Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is the BREWDCAST. We're talking about big, beefy men slapping each other. I am Bud Robinson. This is Leon Robinson. How you doing, Leon? Say hi.
Hi, Leon.
I messed up the bit. You did a great job. And up here is Town. How you doing, Town? How was your meeting with Bob Hope earlier today?
He brought a dog and a cat, and I think an aardvark and a kangaroo, perhaps.
Oh, good. He's known for his.
I had another one I put in of
an anteater.
Here, hold on. I'm gonna put one more in the thing. This one I put in was cats as humans, and this is what I got. It's not very good.
One of them was just a cat.
Yeah.
I'm kind of scared now.
This is just put cats
I
as
don't know
humans.
I'm not sure how to actually look at that without leaving this, so hold on, let me... Will that do it? That does it. I figured it out. Shh.
Apparently, humans are just five cats.
Yeah, they're just cats. I don't know. The AI is great.
It is.
We got a little bit of diversity in cats, though. I like that. That's nice.
I don't like kids.
We've established this.
Well, I mean, that's you know.
You guys want to see the one I got?
Fun,
this next one I'm going to put in, Bud, probably should be in the, it's an angry trombone player in the rain. That's what I typed in. Okay? This is what I got.
That looks...
Why does he have a horn coming out of his nose?
The trombone's in his...
not a trombone.
Oh, good lord.
That is not a trombone.
Oh, I see.
Well, talk to the AI, don't talk to Town, because Town didn't draw it.
Yeah,
It was the AI.
It is what it is. The AI is only as smart as it wants to be.
You need to educate your AI better, Town.
I don't want to. Terminator stuff, world taking over, war with humans.
It's over.
It is a little worrying at times. It is a little worrying.
We need to stop talking about this. It's going to go in a completely different direction.
It absolutely will.
Let's talk about Collision.
Let's talk about Collision. So I'll do my quick run through here.
Okay, so Leon, time out. Bud's going to talk about the whole show, then we're going to comment on it.
Yes. Sure.
So don't be cutting in. Just shut up.
So we got promos to start the show once again. This is a great segment. Good call. Samoa Joe, CM Punk, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Ricky Starks. CM Punk was the last one. He said, I'm going to go cut a promo against Joe. And then he cut a promo. Then we had a Joe Punk video package, which Brian Alvarez said it should have been a whole 30-minute thing. And I agree with him because there's a lot of history there. But it wasn't. It was like 2 minutes on AEW Collision before we started watching Ricky Starks defeat Powerhouse Hobbs with QTV at ringside. QTV got involved, QT in particular. Hobbs might be crabby with them. We have a Miro promo where he swears at his god. Great promo. Willow interview because she's injured. She can't fight until this coming Friday. She lost her title to Julia, which is sad. But I get it. Julia Hart defeated Bambi Hall in a pretty dope match, I think. 2.5 minutes. Malachi Black did a promo just after that. Kind of weird. Andrade responds to Malachi's promo. And then we saw the BCG, Bullet Club Gold, of Jay White and Juice Robinson defeat FTR in a 28-minute, 14-second awesome match. Like, this was awesome. Christian and Sean Spears had the promo where it seems like or they were setting up the fight at Battle of the Belts. FTR interviewed with Shivani. Not Jay Robinson. Jay Robinson isn't there. Jay White and Juice Robinson interrupt. and they say they want a 2 out of 3 falls match next week. Potentially a Battle of the Belts, but it's unclear. Scorpio Sky defeated Action Andretti in an awesome match. CM Punk defeated Samoa Joe, also in an awesome match.
The tag team match was incredible.
This whole card was awesome. Like, all of the matches were great. It's
such a throwback. It's such an 80s throwback. I said that before, and I say it again. It almost feels like Saturday Night Main Event.
Mm-hmm.
From, like, back in the day. The way they cut the promos at the beginning, and they're not goofy, but they're kind of goofy.
Yeah.
And it's just got a really good throwback feel.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. The Action and Trading. What?
Are either of you two familiar with the WCW Saturday Night? I never really got to watch it. Is that kind of the vibe they're going for too? No, more like Saturday Night's Main Event. Okay, I apologize.
A very old school WWF feel. Saturday Night was. I watched it all the time, probably from like 1989 until like 93, 94, when Nitro took over. I used to actually enjoy that because you had Monday was WWF, the weekend was WCW, and I was able to watch them both. That was always a really nice vibe. WCW used to have a lot of shows, like they had Power Hour in the morning, like at 10 o'clock, and it was always just dreadful. It was such a bad show, but you watched it because you were a kid and whatnot. But this does feel like Saturday Night's Main Event kind of, and they put on the matches are just incredible. Again, I just cannot talk about it enough. This show feels so different from Dynamite.
Yes, absolutely.
I think
stark. Pun not intended. I think like the match that they had between, I'm looking now, like Ricky Starks and Hobbs does not feel like a match you would have gotten between those two on Dynamite. And I think that's a good thing because those two, while they are great workhorses, they also, I think they thrive better telling the story in the ring. And Dynamite is a little bit less that. Collision is more like story driven in the ring.
Yeah. And Dynamite's a little
and also
more
like
about
promos
the actual,
and stuff. Yeah.
Well, but Dynamite's more of the crazy. Here's this just incredible wrestling. Like they don't care. The story's not as important.
They are about the work rate, and the stories sometimes come secondary. It depends on the wrestler, of course, but.
Well, I read a thing today that CM Punk. I think this was from Alvarez and them. But they said that Punk is embracing the role of a leader on Collision, and he's trying to put his stamp on the show, which I think you can see.
Which totally, yeah, absolutely. And I think, but he's like, I should probably just not say anything because like it's like hearsay, but like whenever you read about CM Punk when all of this shit was going down, it was like CM Punk is trying to be the leader, but he's not the leader, and people don't want to follow him, and whatever. But you have this locker room in Collision, who they all believe in Punk enough to want to work with him, and I think it's more than that. I think that they take his advice. They work with him because his style of wrestling, his style of telling a story in the ring, his style of like doing all of the things is what they want to do.
There's a little bit of irony here because we talk so much about Brawl Out and how bad it was, but hindsight 2020, it's not, because now you have done a brand split the correct way.
Yeah.
Because you have two completely different shows.
Mm-hmm.
Completely. They feel different. They flow different. Their work rate is different. Their promos are different.
But they are not competing.
It's not the same show with two different sets of characters.
Yeah,
basically.
Yes. And they're not competing. They're pulling. Everybody seems to be pulling the boat in the same way. But like, I can't. Like, that's the biggest thing I get out of the show. Is it's just like, it's so different from Dynamite, and it's not bad.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. When like
no, they're both good in their own ways.
Yeah, we're like seeing MJF on both shows.
Now, if you made me pick, and you said I could only watch one,
ooh.
I know what my answer is.
Okay.
It would be Dynamite. It would be Dynamite.
Same. I wasn't expecting you to say that. Honestly.
I would say Dynamite. Oh God, Dynamite. I think by a mile, Dynamite. I think Dynamite. came in and changed the wrestling business with the style it was. And I think Collision is more of a meshing of the old school and the new school, which I think is going to appeal to sports entertainment fans more.
Yes, that is a very good point. Yeah.
As opposed to Dynamite is like, if I was going to go and be on a show as a worker, I would fucking want to be on Dynamite. And it's not because I like CM Punk. I think CM Punk's fine. Like he's great. He's not Orange Cassidy, but he's great.
Who is? Nobody.
But like Dynamite's the show. And of all the shows that are on TV right now, like Dynamite's the one I'd want to be on. Even though SmackDown just pulled one of its biggest ratings ever this past week with the trial of Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
And that's awesome, and I'm glad they're doing good, but I still don't care.
Yeah, that's fine.
Don't care. Don't care.
We can pick apart some of these matches. The one in particular that I want to talk about is Bullet Club Gold versus FTR. In particular, because we've seen CM FTR 2 weeks in a row, 3 weeks in a row. I don't remember if they were on last week. And it was, this might sound a little harsh, but it was the CM Punk show. It was CM Punk, and FTR is with CM Punk. And at least that's how I viewed it. And now I see this match, and I see how much the fans are getting behind FTR, and I see that their match style is like completely different without CM Punk, and they are absolutely thriving without him, which is the main, like, and I've said this before, like, that's the big reason why I don't want them, like, you want to do these one-offs, that's fine, but like having them in a faction, I think is going to hinder FTR.
Couldn't. I think it depends on how you did it. I think it totally depends. There's a way to do it. There's a way to not do it.
Yeah, but I just look at it. And
I get what you're saying, though. But right, because CM Punk is the focal point of everything on that show.
Yes. Yeah.
So anytime you're around him, you're just gonna get swallowed up.
But it's also like factions in general. I don't think. You can correct me if I'm wrong, because I do not know the history of wrestling, sports entertainment, as well as either one of you. But I think when you have a faction, it's very rare for that faction to center around a tag team.
You always have the centerpiece of the faction. It was Ric Flair. In DX, it was Shawn Michaels, and then it was Triple H. Evolution was Triple H. Evolution probably was one of the most successful factions of all time, as much as we don't want to say that. Like, all those world champions, all those titles, they just did amazing.
Any other factions, I mean, other than the Shield, had that many world titles between it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all of the members were world champs at some point? Like,
yeah. Like that has to
bonkers.
be. It's a good point, though, because you do have your guy, and usually you put a faction around a guy. Like, that's your top guy. And then you have, or it's the main guy you're focused on. And then you usually have a tag team, and then you kind of have like a heater guy or like a big guy, like a bodyguard guy, like an enforcer. I mean, if you look at the Four Horsemen, that's kind of what happened too. You know, so you're right. I mean, you're not wrong. I wouldn't disagree with you on that one. I think it's hard. I think it's hard to have a tag team be a focal point. But saying that, I don't think that. Like Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard when they were in the Four Horsemen as a tag team.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. Yeah.
Fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
That is one of my dream matches. Like 1987 Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson against FTR.
Oh my God.
Yes. Just gold.
Yeah.
Just fucking gold.
Yeah. For
Just
all three titles.
The Brainbusters.
not the Brainbusters. Not the WWF.
The Brainbusters.
Not the WWF version. I want the fucking Four Horsemen before they went to the E. But it's a valid point. They are not the best guys on promos.
No, of course not.
But they don't. But they don't
really need to be.
No, they just don't need to be.
I don't think Cash. I think I could probably count on one hand the number of times that I remember Cash talking on the mic.
And
it's
they just
usually
don't need to
Dax,
be.
and they don't need to be.
So
They go in there.
that
and
would be one.
fuck people
That would
up.
be one thing to that is.
Yeah.
The only thing I would say is if you were going to actually put them together, they would have to be heel. You couldn't have them be face.
I mean, the way that they're going right now, I don't think so. I think they could all be face, but I think you would want to turn them.
Punk is
I
such
would want to turn them. We would probably want to turn them because we want to see Punk heel. I want to see FTR heel because FTR's heels were incredible.
so much better than faces. So much better. But
They're killing it on their face run, but seeing them as heel would be awesome.
Yeah. I also think that I'm ready for AEW to have another tag team championship. Now, here's the caveat to that.
I'm not.
Well, just listen to me.
Go ahead.
In WCW, like 1989, 90, 91, they had the United States Tag Team Champions. Okay? Which was for like lower teams to build them up. If you brought a belt in like that and you put it on Rampage and you gave these teams something to fight for, I would be totally fine with that. I don't want another World Tag Team Champion. I don't want that.
Mm-hmm.
Like a TNT Tag Team Champion or a TBS Tag, like something like that. That but you're US.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, like it would, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't fucking matter. But like a lower level tag team thing, because there's so many tag teams that I want to see do shit. Brian Pillman Jr. is gone from AEW.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
removed from the website.
He feels like that guy that's like almost there all the time, and he never got there.
I don't remember where I read it. Probably on Reddit. Haha. There was somebody commenting on how Brian Pillman Jr. has always been the guy who's like what you said, who's on the cusp, but refuses to he doesn't push himself up a little farther he doesn't push himself to do that little bit extra.
Do you know what I think he needs?
Just a little extra.
I think he needs NXT.
I was just gonna ask that.
I think he needs NXT as much as I wouldn't wish that upon anyone right now. I think he needs NXT.
NXT's not terrible right now.
But let him learn under Sean for a while.
Yeah.
I think I don't think he'll ever get a legitimate shot in the E because he's just not that guy. He doesn't have the charisma. He doesn't have the personality. But there's like something about him. You look at him and you're kind of like, oh, that guy looks interesting, and he's kind of got that same appeal as Old Man had, but like something's missing, and he's kind of got to find it. And he hasn't been wrestling that long. Like, he's not bad in the ring,
mm-hmm.
but he's also not, like, incredible in the ring. He's passable. I think NXT would be great. I think it'd be great for his character development. It'd be great for his work rate.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of where I think he should go. I don't know if they'll sign him, but that would be a good... But he's that guy they'll sign and keep him there for 2 years, and then fire him, and he'll go to the Indies and actually... do something.
Catch fire.
I mean, in which case, he should just go to the Indies. If that's what he wants to do. If he just wants the...
I get it, but I think he, honest to God, just legitimately needs NXT. I think he needs that seasoning. I think he needs that help.
Yeah, maybe.
I think he needs that coaching. Because I don't know if he's ever had... I don't know who trained him. I don't know how much training he had. I mean, he's very, very solid in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not spectacular. There's nothing he does that makes me go... wow, that guy's really good. It's like, oh, it's Brian Pillman's kid, cool. And you want to root for him because he's Brian Pillman's kid. Everybody kind of like Brian Pillman.
Mm-hmm.
But then at the end of the day, it's just kind of like, okay, what's not there?
Yeah.
And I think NXT would be, honestly, and I'm not a huge proponent of pushing people to NXT, but my opinion.
Yeah.
Anything else from Collision we need to talk about?
Do we want to talk about Punk versus Joe? That was like the big money match. I do want to just real briefly. I do want to say that the Julia Hart match was surprisingly good. Like,
That shocked me.
That's not fair
as short as it
to
was.
say.
Shocked me.
She's apparently got a 7-0 streak going right now, and I feel like this match I have always felt like since she joined the House of Black that she's sort of been a sore thumb. And it was this match that made me go, oh my God, she's there. Like, she is the House of Black now. I don't know if it was her entrance, the way that she carries herself now, but like she doesn't have like a undertone of like cheerleader or something.
I
like
remember
she now
watching
has that
her
darkness
work
in her.
when she was in the Varsity Blondes.
Mm-hmm.
I remember watching her wrestle and just being like, oh, man, she's green. And she was just green. She's athletic.
She's a fucking child, man.
She's very athletic.
That's true. Yeah.
She's very athletic. And she's got a good background for that. But, like, in the ring, she was just, oh. And this match was like, this match wasn't perfect.
Mm-hmm.
No.
There's still moments where you're like, yeah, she's still green.
She's starting to put together some believable offense, though.
Mm-hmm.
That and the character is starting to click.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
The character is really starting to click.
Totally.
Which makes it watchable. And that's, as they get rid of more and more people, and as they kind of get, like, some of these people get on TV that haven't been on TV, that's what's going to start to happen. That's the beauty of it. And we've talked about that before. I saw this match and I kind of went, ugh. And then I watched it. I was like, oh, okay. I wanted Julie Hart to lose because the other girl looked cool. But
I mean, it was a decent match. It was
watchable.
Like, I think it was one of her better matches.
It wasn't shitty. Yeah.
Yeah.
And her character work is just, but she's sitting there with Brody and Malachi and Buddy, and it's just like she's shut up and she listens.
Like, they're just,
and you can tell.
Yeah.
And you can tell, and you know Malachi's walking her through her entrance and what to do and how to do shit. You know Malachi's doing that.
Yeah, if you're paying attention with those guys, you're going to get better.
Yeah.
It's impossible not to.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I think having her walk him out for a while, and she was hurt, and I think that might have been the best thing that happened to her, as much as that doesn't sound right, but give her a chance to kind of figure out the character and not have to focus on anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I thought it was good. I would agree with you.
I was happy
Punk
to see
and Joe,
Scorpio.
Pumpkin?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. You go ahead.
I was just saying, I was happy to see Scorpio's guy. And he's
it was good to see him.
He's one of my favorite
I'm
guys.
glad he's back.
Yeah.
I'm glad he's back. I hope to God he wins the World Championship someday.
I think he will.
And becomes the first guy to win all three.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah.
That's what he should do.
I could see that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Joe. Was he tag champion?
The first ever tag champ, won the TNT.
Oh, that's right.
Twice, I think.
Yeah.
Once or twice. And yeah.
SCU, that's right. I was thinking with the Best Men, and I was like, I don't remember him winning it with Ethan. But no, it was
for
SCU.
Ethan.
Okay,
The Punk Joe match. The Punk Joe match was good, but I don't think it lived up to the hype.
No,
because I mean it's kind of hard to. That's one of those. It's one of those where the expectations are at such a level.
I mean, it was fine. It was good. Punk won. I hope that they're. I hope that they're going to do something with him.
Mm-hmm. I think they're going to set him up with at Wembley.
That's what I'm hoping, because my big question for Wembley right now is you're going to have Wembley, and then the following week you're going to have another show.
Mm-hmm. That's why did they do that? That's so crazy.
How are you going to? Well, I read today. Or no, I listened to somebody. Was it Alvarez? I think it was Alvarez or Meltzer was like, they're, AEW's in these deep talks with Warner.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that Time Warner wants is they want AEW to run a monthly pay-per-view. Which was my response. Now, if you did it, but here's the thing. What if you alternated who had the pay-per-view? I mean, that'd be one thing, because otherwise you're gonna get to that same thing. I think they're gonna put them on Max. I think that's where it's gonna end up.
I'm hoping you're right. I really am.
I think that seems to be. I think this is one of those things. I am not a huge fan of pay-per-views every month.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're,
I don't like them at all.
But I used to. Because in fucking 1998, I didn't have a fucking problem with it. But in 1998, I had Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock.
Yeah, that's the thing is like their roster was so stacked. And you could run the same guys at every single pay-per-view because we wanted to see those same guys at every single pay-per-view. I'm sorry, I love Kenny Omega. I don't want to see him at every pay-per-view, and that's not because I don't like his work. I love his work. It's because there's such a swath of talent that I want to see that seeing Kenny 1 month and seeing Punk the next month would be cool. But that's a lot of programming. It's real easy to get fatigued.
What if you did a thing where you had like a monthly 2-hour special on Max?
Mm-hmm.
That was like a pay-per-view, but wasn't. Like it was a special show on Max where like they did like a Clash for the Champions. And then
if they did something like that, that'd be different.
Then they still kept their same pay-per-view schedule.
That I would
because their pay-per-view schedule is one of the things that I think is a huge bonus to them, and I don't think they understand that. Because it's a lot harder to justify when you have a pay-per-view every month, forking over $45 every month.
Mm-hmm.
It's $45. It's not like the worst thing in the world, but at the same time, it's like,
that's
I remember
that's kind of the sorry, go ahead.
Taboo Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Who remembers Taboo Tuesday?
Yeah,
you guys came to my house for Taboo Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
On a fucking Tuesday night, we watched that, and that pay-per-view was, what was it, like $45, $45,
mm-hmm.
and it just sucked. It's one of those ones you pay for, and you're like, fuck, that sucked. And that's what I don't want to have happen. That's that's the beauty of Peacock.
Mm-hmm.
That is a huge beauty of it with WWE is,
mm-hmm.
if you watch it and it sucks, it's like, whatever, it's just on Peacock.
Mm-hmm.
But if you pay for the show, it's like, fuck.
Yeah.
And I've never, ever felt that way about an AEW show.
Well, that's the other thing is you're losing, from like a financial standpoint, you're losing that big jump in revenue every quarter from a pay-per-view to have to turn around, because like if you're putting them on Max, you're not getting the pay-per-view revenue and you're going to have to put on more. Like that just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but if Time Warner pays you enough money, you won't give a fuck.
Yeah, I think it'll be like with the Peacock thing with the E, where they have that constant stream of revenue coming in every month, where it'll offset the the pay-per-view thing.
Or Tony will just buy Warner Brothers.
I'm just curious how you do it, because that just makes me kind of.
I don't know if Dad has the money for that one.
Vince Russo says that it's true. It's going to happen.
What's going to happen? What did I miss? I wasn't paying attention.
Vince Russo. A couple weeks ago, I mentioned that Vince Russo said Tony was going to buy Warner Brothers.
No, we talked about that. It can't happen.
We talked about it.
We did the research on that one. We did the research.
5 minutes of research.
Shad Khan
lacks the funds for that one.
But he's got a fuck ton of money.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't have that much money.
That much, yeah. I'm sure he could raise it if he really wanted to, but...
Yeah, why would you? He's already doing really, really well. Both of them are already doing really well.
Go Jaguars.
I think they're setting up to go back a little bit and to change the subject from my stupid joke. I think they're setting up Punk and Joe for Wembley, and then I think I see Punk and MJF for All Out. It's a lot, but like, how do you not have overlap there? There's got to be overlap because you can't have people on Wembley who aren't going to be. But
I'm not wondering. I'm not wondering if you have a Wembley crew and you have a all out crew.
I don't think they can do that.
But I don't either.
They might.
Didn't Kenny make some sort of comment about that recently? Something about basically exactly what you just said. Not a full brand split on it, but almost like
the only issue with that.
Crews for the two shows.
The only issue with that is that if I'm at Wembley and I have 75,000 people there, I need every bit of fucking star power I can get. I need every fucking bit. I need CM Punk. I need the Elite. I need the Bucks. I need Omega. I need MJF. I need Adam Cole. I need Orange Cassidy. I fucking need everybody, and I need shit to happen, and I need all this stuff to go down. I need that card needs to be the most stacked card they've ever had. So I look at that kind of go, in All Out the next week. Like, how do you know?
I mean, that's the thing is they're both huge shows. Like, if it was like, if you had like All In and then next week you had Double or Nothing, which is like, it's not like their marquee show, but that's like a big show for them, obviously, because it's a pay-per-view. But like All Out was the thing that like, All Out was like the pay-per-view that sold a lot of people on AEW. All Out is like their big thing. And so to have those two butted up against each other with a week in between is just,
I'm assuming that this is going to be this year. I could see them turning all in into their WrestleMania, because I think they all. I think they're all very nostalgic about that show because of how it went back in the day when they got 10,000 people in there for an indie show.
Yeah,
I think there's a lot of nostalgia with that one. So
I kind of see it. We will see, but I kind of see it as like a one-off, not a one-off, but like we run All In when it makes sense to run All In, like. We don't do it every year, but like when we have it, it's a big fucking deal. Like
they just got rights to it.
Yeah.
When they bought ROH.
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
So they couldn't run it before. I don't know if they maybe they run it internationally every year.
Oh, maybe.
You know, that's our international pay-per-view.
I mean,
we'll do it in Tijuana next year.
Then you really gotta spread those out.
Yeah, but I think they got Wembley when they could get Wembley, and if you're gonna get Wembley, you gotta fucking do it.
Yeah,
you know, and the beauty of this is they're gonna go there, and they're gonna fucking blow WWE out of the water, because WWE goes over there, they might get 20,000, 30,000 people, and AEW's going there like fuck it, let's go all in, literally, and we'll get 70.
They have 70 at this point,
which is fucking astronomical. Yeah. And that's a legit 70 paid. That's not a Vince McMahon 70,000. That's really like
300,000, pal.
They're gonna run a show the same night from like some fucking arena that holds 10,000 people. We've got 418,562 people in this arena. I don't think you do.
You're reading from the Raptors here, folks.
Standing room only. The hard camera is not tarped off. I swear to God. Joe Punk was a letdown. It wasn't a letdown. It was just kind of. It was what it was. I hope it's the beginning. I hope it's the beginning of a story.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Yeah, just one of those where the expectations are at such a level where it pretty much wasn't going to be able to live up to it unless they give him 40 minutes on pay-per-view. I mean.
I desperately want Punk to lose to Ricky Starks.
He won't.
Badly. I want Joe to cheat. I want Joe to do something, and then he loses.
I mean, that could happen,
that feud up. They sets that feud up. Punk does not need the Owen Hart thing.
I was actually thinking this week, watching that.
Ricky Starks would get more out of it. His promo at the beginning was kind of cringe.
Yeah.
It was a cringe promo. Owen Hart promo was kind of made me go, ugh.
Wait, are you talking about Punk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where he came to the ring and he was talking about Owen Hart. Like, I love Owen Hart. I legitimately do.
I was listening to that, and what I wrote down was, hold on. What I wrote down was it felt disingenuous, it felt insincere, and it felt like Cena. Like that's totally a Cena promo.
Yep.
And I'm like,
but that's right. That's spot on. That's fucking spot on. Like he was pushing it so hard. He was being a shill for the company, and it was just like, God, it's fucking.
But then I look at that and I say, is he doing that on purpose? Like I'm a fan of all of these people who do tiny things, and it's all on purpose. Yes.
Yeah, it's possible.
Like maybe he's pushing our buttons and he's setting something up. I would love to see CM Punk win, but Hobbs is the one that we've talked about this 100 times. But I want to see Hobbs with CM Punk, and I would love to see Hobbs be the reason that CM Punk wins the Owen Hart, because I think they're going to give it to him. Maybe he doesn't need it, but I don't think that I really don't think they're doing it to like boost anybody. I think they're doing it to like showcase their top talent. I think that's why they put Britt Baker and Adam Cole in there last year.
That made more sense though, because they needed those wins. Nah, they did at the time. Britt Baker, you could argue no, but Adam Cole did. He was coming off of a loss to Hangman. He was kind of in a little bit of a lull.
Mm-hmm.
Could it be a Hobbs helping Punk and screwing Starks?
That's what I think.
Start a big old heel turn thing.
I think so.
Well, I mean, Hobbs already is, but
I just don't see that with what they're doing with Hobbs.
You don't think so? Okay.
Not right now.
They showed friction between him and QTV though. So
yeah, but they got to see that one through. I don't know.
Didn't he beat the fuck out of them? Or did I imagine that?
He beat the fuck out of Aaron Solo, and
on them at this
he was about to go after QT, but Harley Cameron.
QT's all over Dynamite, and Hobbs is all over Collision, so maybe they're just going to kind of pretend like that didn't happen and move on with their lives.
Maybe. I don't know.
Hey, let's talk about Dynamite.
Let's talk about Dynamite. So here we go. Chris Jericho defeated Commander in a almost 13-minute match.
This one's fresh. I might just cut in on you.
Sure.
Just going to cut in on you.
That's fine.
Keep going.
Don Callis comes out basically asking Jericho to give an answer and shows some footage from 1995 to like tug at his heartstrings. Jack Perry had an interview where he refused to come out of his car, so Hook came and beat the crap out of him. Go ahead.
Time out. Let's talk about Jericho.
Yeah.
Jericho's not joining him. I think that this is going to be the catalyst to turn him face. I don't think Jericho's joining him.
He seems like he's going face. Yeah.
I think this is going to be a swerve. And I think somebody else is going to join him because the Omega situation, I think, is about to be done. Because I think the Omega... Yeah, I think with Blood and Guts, I think they're going to try to move everybody on.
I feel like him and Ibushi against somebody at the paper at All In is the call. I think that's what they're going to go for. But we shall see.
Yep. This match was fun. I like Commander.
Mm-hmm.
Jericho's good. I mean, it was a fine match.
Yeah.
The match I am most excited for All In that I know is going to happen is Jungle Boy and Hook, because it's got like Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, 1991 vibes. It's like these two are on their fucking way up. They're figuring it out, and that's, as I think about Jungle Boy, he reminds me of 1991 Shawn Michaels.
Yeah,
because
that's true.
in 91 Michaels left the Rockers, he turned heel, and he had no fucking idea what he was doing, and he was throwing shit at the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually it all clicked, and that's kind of what I see with Jungle Boy. I thought this promo was fucking great. I love it when he's like, "Oh shit, child lock!" Like that was just
that was great.
And I think those two, I think at All In they have a match for the FTW title, and Jungle Boy fucking beats Hook. He cheats, he does something, and then we can turn that into a little bit of because you look at Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels, those two fucking wrestled constantly from like 1989 until 97.
Mm-hmm.
They were constantly fighting each other. Tag matches, singles matches for the IC, single matches for the world. They climbed that card, and I could see these two doing that. This feud to me is, I'm very, very happy they did this.
Yeah,
very happy.
So the Jack Perry interview. Then we had Renee interviewing Don Callis. He says he doesn't know what Jericho's going to do, but he's going to announce the 5th member. Then we saw MJF and Adam Cole broing out at a bar, which was weird.
It was so fucking funny. Who's turning on who?
Are they
going to turn on each other? Because that would be perfect.
I think the swerve is that they don't turn. That's what I think. I think Cole's going to be heel, or maybe they both turn heel, because at this point MJF is playing face.
Dude is smart.
Guevara,
he is just hamming it up so hard.
He is. Then we had Guevara and Garcia defeating Darby Allin and Orange Cassidy, Was Orange Cassidy's pyro at the beginning of this? Did they mess something up, or is that his pyro now?
That is his pyro. He's the fucking greatest. It's like the lamest pyro ever.
It is.
It's so fucking Orange Cassidy.
And then we had Renee interviewing.
So let's talk about this match because we're here. This match to me, I was very disinterested in. Like, it wasn't bad, but at the same time, it's like I've seen this match before. Is how I felt, type of thing. And the ending was just kind of
yeah.
The right team won.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were the right team to win, and they're setting up Darby and Swerve, which is fine. But this match was just kind of like it's hard to get excited about.
Yeah,
and I love Orange Cassidy.
I think it was just a match. I think it was they had to have this happen, and this is the way they did it. It was sort of meh. I would agree.
It just felt like a match that was there to serve a different purpose.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Then we had Renee interviewing Adam Cole. I wrote nothing down for it, so I must not have been interested in it. Then we had MJF. And Adam Cole.
That was when MJF called and said he had the flu because he saw
that's
Brian
right.
Cage. That was fucking funny. I just saw Brian Cage.
I do not have the flu. I'm interested to see how that's going to happen because of Roddy.
I wonder if he's going to turn on Cole.
Who? Roddy?
Roddy. Yeah.
I can see that.
Like, and become MJF's bitch. Like his henchman bitch.
Ooh. That's not what I thought you were saying, but yeah, I could see that too.
Yeah. Bill Swerve action.
MJF and Adam Cole defeated Big Bill and Brian Cage. The call for this was an amazing match on so many fronts. Because of the body slam thing that he called for. I love the first time that he did it. He goes to pick him up and he goes, "Mother of God!"
He's really heavy. This match was fun.
Yeah.
This match was very sports entertainment-y.
Yes. Yeah.
Very sports entertainment.
They are very DX. Like.
Yeah.
Like they're not edgy. Like Shawn and Trips were in the beginning.
No, they're old DX. They're DX like circa 2006.
Yeah, but a little more edgy than that. Like they're a little more edgy than that. But yes, they're very like side. Cheesy dad jokes. Yeah. But like, I don't think that they would have done the same. Well, I guess they would have because they were doing that bit for a while where like Shawn was like a born again Christian, so he wasn't doing all the dirty shit, but Triple H was. I definitely see MJF as the Triple H in this whole thing.
Those two are very entertaining and very fun together.
Yeah, they are.
Like, I could see there's no way they're going to win the tag belts. No fucking way. They're not going to beat FTR.
Yeah, fair.
Like, they're not going to do it.
I mean, the flip side to that though is if FTR wins.
What if it all in MJF and Cole fight FTR, and they lose because MJF does something or Cole does something. Then the following week they main event the pay-per-view for the belt.
Sure.
I could see that being where this is all leading.
They're doing it on the 29th though. So unless that goes to like a time limit draw and they move it to All In, which actually they could do. That would make sense.
Okay.
And then we had the post-match promo, which is great.
Funny. Always is.
Renee interviewed Jake Hager, but not really, because she just kind of said, "I'm going to interview you," and then didn't go in the room.
Forgot how shitty Jake Hager was at promos.
He's really not very good.
I love that guy because he's such a big... When he's being a big dumb goof, he's great, but when he actually tries to be serious, it's just like...
And is he implying that he's going to leave AEW if Jericho joins Callis?
I think he's implying that he's going to leave or he can't follow him or he can't help him right now if he can't tell him what's going on, so he's going to leave the whatever they're called.
Okay.
Jericho Appreciation Society.
I see.
That was him turning in his hat. So
that makes more sense.
Maybe Callis
loves that hat.
What if Callis takes over the JAS? and kicks Jericho out, and then like takes all those guys.
What would be great is if he did that,
Make it the
but
Callous
still,
Appreciation Society.
no, he should keep it as the Jericho Appreciation Society. And
That would
then
be
to
funny.
make it really Don Callis, they would appreciate all of the shitty things that Jericho did. Like all of the sleazeball, terrible things to try and get Jericho to turn. Oh, I would pay for that. I would pay for that. Then we had Ruby Soho defeated Sky Blue.
Like something clicked
Yeah.
for her, and I don't know when, and I don't know how, because she was just generic girl dressed in blue. That's all she was, and she couldn't really work that well. She's not very old either. And then it's like they got behind her a little bit, and they started to let her do stuff, and she started having these matches, and the fucking crowd got behind her. Now it's like, holy fuck, she can work.
Mm-hmm.
She understands her character. She understands what she's doing. This match was fucking really good.
But she's been training with, or was training with Madison Rain and,
Yeah, and you can tell. You can tell.
oh my god, the professor, but I can't remember her name right now.
Serena Deeb.
Serena Deeb, thank you.
Yeah, you can tell.
You can totally
she's really like she's gonna be a fucking star.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
She's just turned that corner. Her in-ring shit, everything about her. Just like the way she used to walk to the ring. She looked confused.
Okay.
And now like her entrance makes sense. Like she
A
knows,
little overwhelmed.
like she's got the confidence, and like that's a big part of it too. But in the past like 4 weeks, I'm like, can we just fucking give her the strap?
Yeah.
Let's let her have a run.
Ever since Chicago,
Premature.
really.
Even before that though, but that was
Yeah,
kind of
that's true.
the moment, yeah.
So we had the Harley Cameron rap music video after that, which was not terrible. It was not great.
I thought it was so bad it was good.
It was better than I expected it to be.
Not sure
I mean, we don't have to analyze it.
what they're trying to do
I don't either.
with that group.
I don't either.
And I think that's the problem. I think they're just there for fodder right now because the Acclaimed have to do something. Again, it's almost sickening how they've just not done anything with the Acclaimed for 3 months. So it's kind of like they got to do something with them. This is probably not the best.
This is just a thing that they're doing.
I don't know where it's going. I don't know if it has any. Is she a wrestler or is she just like a manager or
No
like?
idea. Let's look it up.
Is she a sports model?
Now let's
Is she
go to the
a-
segment where Bud looks
she-
it up.
What did you learn?
She was in Shine. She debuted 2 years ago. So she is
Okay.
a wrestler. But it seems like not very much for whatever that's
Okay.
worth. And apparently she
that's-
is actually a singer. So it says on her pro wrestling fandom wiki page. I found one.
They auto-tuned the shit out of it. So this was just a thing that happened. I
It's
don't know.
a
I
thing
don't
that
know what to say
happened.
about
Yeah, and QT is QT.
QT is such a over the top idiotic prick that I don't mind him.
Okay.
Like he's fun. Like he's never gonna win anything. He's always gets his ass kicked, but he's always got some grandiose plan that blows up in his fucking face, and I love that.
That's fair.
He's like your classic lower card wrestling heel,
Yeah.
and he's like not comedy, but he's comedy.
Comedy not
Could
on
be.
purpose.
Yeah.
So then we had Nick Wayne defeating Swerve Strickland.
Not what happened.
That's not what happened?
Nick Wayne lost.
Did he lose? All right, fine. He lost, I guess. I
yeah,
thought he
what-
won.
how-
Okay, well,
No, he Swerve quote unquote dislocated his shoulder and then hit him with that.
oh, that's right. That's right.
What the hell? Tell the truth here, bud.
Truth is relative. Okay,
Tell me what
so
I'm telling lies.
Swerve Strickland defeated Nick Wayne.
Dirk
Nurk.
Wayne.
Nurk Bane.
Try this again.
Good
Let's
match.
try this again.
It was a good match.
Try this again.
Swerve Strickland defeated Nick Wayne after dislocating his shoulder, possibly.
I was fake, but yeah. Nick Wayne's pretty good.
Yeah. You think?
Pretty damn good.
Like, they were
Um,
listing off the wrestlers that he's been in the ring with, and if he's put on good matches with those people, like Konosuke Takeshita and like
you can't overpush the guy. You got to kind of let him simmer a little bit. But they're good at that. Look at Jungle Boy. Look at all the other guys they've done that with.
I mean, Hook is a great example of that.
Hook.
I'm curious what they're gonna do with him. And Swerve is Swerve. I don't know what the fuck they're doing with Swerve. They're doing Darby. Obviously, they're gonna have a feud. But
no, I think they're giving him a good push, Swerve, because he's doing shit with Darby. He was like he did some shit with Orange. He did shit with Keith. They always have that to fall back on whenever they need a thing for him to do.
My biggest question is I thought Swerve was going to be the guy to beat Orange. Now clearly that's not happening because they moved him away from Orange.
It could still happen.
Who is fucking beating Orange and when are they doing it?
No one.
Or is Orange going to hold that belt for another 2 years?
Bill Goldberg.
This is going to turn into a Van Dam reign. Then he'll win the world championship and be like, I quit.
That would be his last match. It's like I'm tired.
Just so tired.
So then we have Don Callis announcing the 5th member. Turns out it's Pac. No? Why are you shaking your head, Town?
I don't know. I just whatever. I didn't give a shit.
I was happy. I like Pac.
I'm glad.
I'm happy to have him back.
I'm glad he's back.
It was sort of a. It was sort of a.
Very poorly put together introduction of him.
Yeah.
Him being the 5th guy is kind of a. Whatever. That's how I felt.
Okay.
There was no pop. Nobody gave a shit. It was kind of like, okay, he's cool. He's going to be part of that now. Is he part of the Blackpool Combat Club? Is he part of the shit with Callis?
I want to see him with Callis personally.
Or is he just there? It just did not.
I don't think he's going to go back to Death Triangle.
But it was just so. I get it. I get why he's there. I get it. But it's just like, I don't know. It was flat. I thought it was really flat. And the way he came out, and then the way the camera accidentally caught him, and then like the crowd saw him, and then everybody's just like, okay, cool, Pac's back.
Yeah, the accidental catch was funny.
But the flip side too is that everybody knew that Kota Ibushi was coming in, which I still fucking popped at that.
That's the problem, though, is you had Kota Ibushi.
And so they were like, holy shit, how do you like they were almost as an audience member, I was expecting it to be the other way around. We knew Kota Ibushi was coming in, so I was expecting Blackpool Combat Club to have somebody phenomenal, somebody who like in some way counteracts, which in a lot of ways I don't think Pac does. Yeah.
CM Punk.
CM Punk would have been big. Yeah.
Would have been off the fucking charts.
Yeah.
Pac is whatever.
It doesn't fit. No, I get that. I get.
It's like a stupid fit.
It doesn't fit in the same way.
No, it's just like it was flat. It was really flat. It was really like Ibushi coming in is awesome. Mm-hmm. Like that part was, but you knew that was happening. Like I knew that. Ooh. And then they made such it's Pac, oh my god, and everybody's just like the crowd was just flat. Like it wasn't a good pop. It was okay.
It was a popcorn fart.
Ibushi got a good pop, but for good fucking reason.
And conversely, they have I think Kota Ibushi has been in the works for a long, long time. Like the Elite has been 4 members. They needed a 5th. They've been courting. Courting's not the right word because he was coming, but like they weren't expecting to need a 5th for Blackpool Combat Club. So like, what do you do at that point? That's going to be bigger than Kota Ibushi.
Punk.
Yeah, but he's already doing his shit.
Fucking wouldn't matter. That would have been, and I get why they didn't do it.
Yeah.
But there's other people you could have picked. Like you could have pulled something else off. That was just like
Jericho would have been cool.
There's a ton of guys you could have done.
Because I was hoping it was going to be Jericho because I thought like the dynamic between him and the other Blackpool members has always been contentious. But like to have them all on the same page would have been cool to see. I don't know.
Jericho would have been it was just.
Okay.
I did not. It did not click for me the way they probably thought it was gonna. Very Bushi's cool, but by that point I was already like, meh, okay, whatever. The segment's done. You know who's gonna win that match.
Yes. The fans.
The Elite's gonna win that match.
The
Elite's
fans
gonna
are
win
going
that
to win
match.
that match.
The Elite's gonna win that match. I don't know.
I have a question. Because y'all have been watching AEW for longer than I have, or at least Town has. I think you have too.
Day one.
Leon.
Day one, Oos.
When they say eliminator in a match, this is an eliminator match, has it always meant that the other team, like the challengers, cannot fight if they lose until the other team loses the title?
I never heard that.
Kevin Kelly said that, and I'm like, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
but
that's the
I've
first
never
time I've
fucking heard it
explained
before.
that way.
That might be the case.
Mm-hmm.
Like that literally might be the case. What they did, nobody explained it.
Yeah.
So very
Yeah,
possible.
I've always just understood it as this is basically a non-title match where if they win, they can get an actual title shot.
That was
That's
how
what
I
I've
always.
understood it.
Yeah, same.
But having an eliminator mean you can't get a shot makes
Makes sense.
way more fucking sense.
And they always have like weird things like that where they use words that don't actually apply to the match or apply to the, like it doesn't make any sense. So I just assumed it was one of those things.
Death match.
Yes. Nobody died. Nothing.
Welcome to the
exploded.
Cure My Constipation Battle Royal. Wait, what? It's just a battle royal. Why? Why would you think it'd be something
Are you
different?
calling this match a laxative?
It sounds like such a Vince Russo move too.
Poo.
Except he would actually have somebody on the outside who had constipation, and if they got up to leave, that would mean whoever was left in the ring won. That was just.
That's a brilliant concept for a fucking match.
Jesus Christ.
You guys, can we get somewhere where we got a ring? Let's book this. Let's run this quick. WWE. Get the gang back together.
Yeah, let's do it.
Fucking old and crippled. That's what we'll do. Don't punch me too hard. I can't pump. My back hurts.
I've thought about that a few times.
Work the arm, no bump.
I do wonder if I could still bump.
Fuck no.
No.
I think I could, but I do not think that I could walk the next day.
I would have to. No. Just fucking no.
Least of
Just
all on the
fucking
ground.
I mean,
Back bump? No.
I know. Well, time out. Are we talking on a mat or the fucking cement floor?
Oh, God.
Because if it was a mat, maybe. If it was a cement floor, no fucking way.
I mean, I thought Matt. That's what I was thinking when we were started talking.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Absolutely not on the cement floor.
When was the last time? The last time I took a bump, I was probably 28.
When was the last time I took a bump? I feel like I've done it for my kids to show them what it was, but I can't remember specifically.
Yeah, I haven't taken a bump in a long time.
And it certainly wasn't a bump. It was like a kid bump. It was like, I'm going to do this on a cushion so that I don't die.
I'm get myself as low as possible.
Not like a sloppy orgasmo chokeslam bump.
No.
Where you land weird and you're like, ow!
My shoulder. Oh, it's fine now.
I'll tell you what I remember.
We still love you, Leon. We really do.
Your fucking gloves that you wore, you got so sweaty. And then your fucking gloves got slick. So you go to grab people, and you never grabbed here. You always grabbed here. So you go to pick somebody up, and your hand would just go like this. And like go off to the side. And then you'd get turned as you're bumping and just fucking land however. It was never like... It was never. Then you got rid of the gloves for a while. Then it was really easy to take a choke slam from you. With those gloves on, holy fuck. Never quite knew what was going to happen.
I just remember getting a lot of orgasmo sweat on me from those gloves. I don't remember taking
Oh, yeah. They were gross. They smelled so bad, dude. So fucking bad.
Be proud of yourself.
Not as bad as fucking Rainville's knee pads.
Oh my god! I don't think he ever or his mesh shirt. Jesus.
Oh,
Christ,
that thing was terrible. But he
horrible.
couldn't wash it. He didn't know how to wash it because if you put it in the dryer, it would have
Yeah.
come apart.
Yes.
So he just didn't wash it. I remember fucking slapping him on the back to tag him when we were the fucking whatever the Nemo and Euro, and you go like that, and you smell your hand. It's like, ow.
It was nasty. Yeah, it was.
I liked Leon's gloves. They were fun. They were fun.
Yeah, sure.
Then he'd punch you with them because he thought he had a padding, and then he just like hit you with this part of his hand down here that didn't have a pad. Ow, Leon!
That was my nose.
Broke it. I'm delicate. Please don't hurt me.
Broken my nose.
I think the Pac thing sucked.
I got that. I'm not sure how.
It's just a fucking letdown. It doesn't make sense.
He explained it to you.
Guys.
Were you not listening?
He did, I listened to it, and I still was like...
He was sad because Kenny took his title. I think it's just a matter of like they're bringing him back from his past to like, I don't know. I had this whole like storyline planned out for Kenny to like come in at the top and just like gradually fall down farther and farther and farther until he's at the bottom, and that's when Kota Ibushi comes back. But that's not what they're doing. But that's sort of how I see Pac. I see Pac as like one of these ghosts coming back to haunt Kenny. But I think the Elite is, unless there's like some skullduggery, the Elite's gonna win because that's what we.
Oh like. God, yeah. There's no way they're not gonna win. There's no fucking way. And they'll either pin. They're not gonna pin Mox.
Mm-mm.
They're not gonna pin Claudio.
I mean, they'll probably pin Wheeler.
They're going to pin Wheeler or they're going to pin Pac.
Yeah.
They're not going to pin Takeshita. They're going to keep those guys safe.
It could be Takeshita.
I don't think so. Not if you're going to make him the focal point of what Gallus is doing. Mm-hmm. I don't think you pin him. I think it'll be Wheeler or...
And then I think that's how you get Wheeler out of the company for a little while because he's injured, is my understanding. But it's apparently an injury that was similar to something that Mox had, and he still wrestled for like 6 months after that. He just taped it up.
Yeah, but John Moxley's not fucking human.
No, he's not.
Your head's split open. Can we staple it together? Sure. Well, I don't have any staples. We have these toothpicks. Put them in. I'll work. Okay.
I mean, did you see that fucking cut on his head? And he's like, okay, I'm going to go cut a promo now.
You're fucking crazy.
He definitely strikes me as one of those people, like, before there was medical staff available at wrestling shows, he probably just glued his shit shut. He would get busted open and just glue it shut.
Didn't give a fuck. I read an interview with Seth Rollins.
Okay.
Anytime you hear Seth Rollins talking to somebody, it's always a joke because he's such a company guy, but he was talking about how his title isn't on the same level as Roman Reigns.
Truth.
And he's like, it's not right now, but it will be. And I'm like, Then I look at it and I go, how do you fuck up your company this bad?
Where you have to have a second world title?
Yeah, that doesn't mean shit. It's just like...
So that the people
you all suck, but this guy's really fucking good.
Yeah. I mean...
He's beaten you all like 6 times over.
You could have had this whole storyline without it revolving around the world title. You could have done that, but you didn't. Like, what the fuck? I don't understand.
So he's surpassed... So, in... Since WrestleMania 1 started, he has now officially had the longest title reign in the history of WWE. Great. So Hogan's reign from WrestleMania 1 to when he lost it at before WrestleMania 4, Roman has held the belt longer than that. Hogan overall held it longer because of when he won it. But if you go back just to when WrestleMania 1 was, starting from that point, nobody's held it longer in that time frame than Roman. Which is just like fucking... Yeah.
But it's... They do this a lot. Like,
I'm sorry, what?
It drives me fucking nuts because they do these things where they're like, like Randy Orton. Randy Orton was their guy, so they put him. He was the youngest WWE champion or world champion or whatever.
They were mad at Brock though too.
And then
Yeah. That was mainly to stick it to him and take that record away.
that's the thing. Like it's all superfluous.
I don't care what they claim to the contrary.
Like it's not that Roman has held it for this long. It's that you decided Roman is going to hold it this long. And so they have these superfluous records and it's just silly. Like, I don't care. If you want to tell me that Roman did 15 backflips in a match and that's a record, that's impressive. I'll take that. Like, I don't care that he got to carry around the world title for 1,000.
I'm gonna throw a thought out there.
Yeah.
The health of the professional wrestling business during Hulk Hogan's reign, his first reign, much better than all of Roman's reigns combined. Like Hogan was killing it. Now, granted, they're making more money now, but they're a publicly traded company. It's a different time. It's a different time setting. As far as popularity in the mainstream and all that shit, if you walk up to a person on the street and go, "Hey, do you know who Roman Reigns is?" No. You know who Hulk Hogan is? It's a wrestler guy. He's not. He's known to wrestling fans, and he's known to wrestling fans. I would say like 90% of us have a very negative opinion of him because we're fucking tired of him. As opposed to Hulk Hogan, it was like we were tired of Hogan too, but like Hogan's still Hogan. Like you go watch Hogan from like '87 fighting Kamala, and it's like this is fun, you know. And Roman is just not.
He had all the monsters to conquer.
But Roman's, he's not Hulk Hogan. He's not Steve Austin. He's not John Cena. He's not at that level. He's like a step below. He's great and he's good, and you can argue that he's the greatest in the world. That's fine. I don't think he is because I think there's guys that are better. I think there's guys that get a better reaction, but like they've basically taken their whole company and put it on the side and not cared about it because they've been so focused on getting this one guy over. And not just Vince, Triple H doing the same fucking thing.
Detriment of everyone else.
I mean Triple H is doing the same fucking thing.
To Tripps's, like to argue on Tripp's behalf, though, you get a guy to this point. What else are you gonna do? Like you can't just drop it. Like you can't just arbitrarily drop it to LA Knight or whoever. Like you have to make. No,
I mean you could have dropped it at the main event of WrestleMania 39 to Cody Rhodes, but you should have fucking done it. Instead, he fucking lost, and the crowd left.
As I recall, that was booked by Vince. So we've heard allegedly.
That crowd fucking stood up and fucking left.
Yeah,
and he's trying to get heel heat, and the crowd's just like done. Don't care.
I've said it before on here, and I'll ask it again. Has anybody who he's come across, who he's feuded with in this whole thing, even been at the same level they were before dealing with Roman?
No.
Like everybody,
Sammy.
Everybody's been shit on.
Sammy. But he got shit on, yes.
But that's not Roman. That was all Sammy. That was all Sammy.
Yeah,
I'm not going to disagree with you, but Sammy was one.
Come across has been in a worse position after leaving that feud. Everybody. He hasn't elevated a single person.
Usos.
Nobody's even been at the same level they were at. And
Usos.
That's not that.
Usos.
Yeah. 3.5 years later.
Yeah. It's the slow build. You're not wrong. Like, I'm not. But the Usos and Sammy would be the two that I say. Nobody else. Nobody that got into a feud with him. They all pretty much got chewed up and spit out. Everybody.
Nobody was even on the same level they were before they started. They were all fucking Edge, they were all knocked down.
Randy Orton, I think. I don't even know. The guy that doesn't wear shoes.
Jerry Springer?
Riddle. Matt Riddle. Yeah. He just... Matt Riddle's a weird dude. He's a weird fucking guy.
Yes,
he's a weird fucking guy.
Putting it kindly.
You can like look at him and you're like, he's the fucking friend of your group that never fucking grew up. And you're just like, hey, you're not 17 anymore. Don't act like a douche. and he still acts like a douche. That's Matt Riddle. Talented guy, but
He's a douche. I would agree.
he's a douche. He's a douche.
I mean, that's
Maybe Goldberg will come back and beat Roman. What about that one, Leon? What would that make you say if that happened?
I would laugh and laugh and laugh, but only if it's a fucking absolute murder. I need it to be an absolute murder. Just comes out there,
Spear, jackhammer, pin.
Superman punch, no sells it, gets back up, spears him, jackhammers him, keeps him up in the air for about a minute or two, and then puts him down for the 3 count.
I want to
Spam
know one of the biggest questions I have is like, I remember like WrestleMania 17 with Austin and The Rock, which probably it's the greatest WrestleMania of all time was WrestleMania 17. Top to bottom, that was the perfect WrestleMania.
Yeah,
That main event sold such a story, and it was so good. And after that, we had some really good Mania main events, and then all of a sudden, it's like
think you're special.
It became okay.
You do.
We're gonna go into this match. We're two big guys. We're gonna just spam our finishers. All we're gonna fucking do is spam our finishers. I'm gonna hit you with my finisher 8 times. You hit me 9 times to pin me. That's the whole fucking. That's all they do. They don't know how to put a fucking match together anymore. It's just
whoever hits their finisher enough times.
Yeah, it's
keep the
stupid.
opponent down.
And at which point is
But
it
don't
really
get me wrong,
your
I
finisher?
dig the fighting spirit thing and everything, but they're like they've gone so far above and beyond with it. We're
The fucking the WrestleMania when COVID first started, when they had the lockdown, it was WrestleMania not in front of fans. The Universal title match between Goldberg and Braun Strowman. What did they do? 5 minutes of finishers, Braun Strowman hits his and wins. Okay? The main event between Brock and Drew McIntyre. 5 minutes of finishers, Drew McIntyre wins. It's just like, you just did the same match twice. What the fuck? So I don't know.
And conversely, if you look at like AEW, most of the wrestlers, if they get to a point where their finisher, like people are kicking out of their finishers, they come up with a new finisher. Chris Jericho has done that. Daniel Bryan has done that. I mean, I'm struggling for other people at this point.
They got their, they have their only in case of emergency break glass type finishers.
Yeah.
But they're not going to hit a guy with 6 finishers in a match. They'd never fucking do that.
No.
They stop telling stories and it's just about finishing moves.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the other thing is like if you get rid of a finisher, you can still beat somebody with it.
8 more times.
Just remember the pedigree being so devastating, and then all of a sudden it's like, this guy just ate 11 pedigrees in a match and still fucking won. It's like, wait, what? Mick Foley got pedigreed 1 time and got pinned. You're telling me this guy's tougher than fucking Mick Foley? There's no
fucking transitional move almost. It's crazy.
So I like Dynamite.
Speaking of finishing moves and everything in the pedigree, I really thought Punk was about to break out the plunge against Joe when he was up on the ropes.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was going to go for it. Maybe he was teasing it.
Maybe he will.
I think he's tried doing the Pepsi plunge once or twice. He's teased it a little bit. We'll see if he brings it out.
I think he might have hit it in AEW at some point. Maybe I'm imagining
it's
that.
It's definitely possible. I don't know.
Yeah. So is Wardlow and the TNT belt now only on Collision? Or no, who's the TNT? I don't even know. The other guy, the green guy. Luchasaurus. Is the TNT belt strictly on... Yeah, that makes perfect sense. The TNT belt should be on Collision because it's on TNT. And the TBS belt should be on Dynamite because it's on TBS. Is that what they're doing? That has to be what they're doing. Right?
I thought Dynamite and Collision were on the same
That would be logical booking.
Channel.
Collision's on TNT.
But aren't they on the same channel?
Collision and Dynamite?
Yeah.
No, what the fuck? No.
I don't watch it on the TV. I watch it streaming. Because I'm from the future.
No, you're not.
You don't know.
TNT has Collision and TBS has Dynamite.
Okay, fine.
So that makes sense. Because I was trying to figure that out. So like the international belt is strictly on Dynamite. Orange Cassidy's more Dynamite than Collision, though.
Oh, there's also, I mean, there's still room for crossover too. Like,
Yeah.
and
I like the way they're doing it
that.
though, because they're not. It's a brand split, but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
And so if somebody shows up in the other show, so fucking be it. You know.
Yeah, I could see Adam Cole and MJF if they win the titles. They're not going to keep it on Collision necessarily.
Yeah.
You know, like there's no reason to flip that around. They keep teasing this whole like CM Punk has his own title. I really don't want them to do that. It drives me nuts.
All right, Tony's. You ready for?
He
Tony's?
was never beaten, bud.
Are you ready? He lost in the brawl out fight. Are you ready for Tony's question of the week? Here we go.
Sure.
Mount Rushmore.
Oh, okay.
We've done it pretty much every week. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
This is gonna be a fun one.
Uh-oh.
Your top 4 jobbers of all time.
Ooh. Can I put Al Snow in all 4 places?
Would you call Al Snow a legit jobber though?
I mean, he called himself one. I don't know. Leon has to go first because I went first last time and I don't have any good answers.
What do you got, Leon?
I have a lot of remembrance of that time of wrestling when they were. I mean, you got to go with Brawler,
Yeah, Brawler's on mine.
Horowitz. Who else? Brawler, Horowitz.
Dwayne Gill. I remember when Dwayne Gill came out at Survivor Series 98. And he was the special opponent for Mick Foley for Mankind, and he had pyros, and his pyros scared the shit out of him. He went off and he was shot.
Those guys, who the fuck else?
The Milky Brothers from NWA. I got the Harwitz and Brawler have to be on there.
Yeah.
Jumpin' Jim Brunzell.
Was he a jobber?
He was a jobber at the end of his career. He lost to fucking everybody. Jim Powers. I remember being a kid and watching Jim Powers. I don't know if you guys remember Jim Powers. The dude was fucking jacked as shit. He was like a huge guy. And I just could not understand why he never won. He teamed with that
Roma.
one guy. Yeah, Roma. They were the Young Stallions. Oh my god, they were fucking terrible.
You know what? Since I have become a fan of 10 Bell Pod on here, let's go with George South.
George South was a good one.
Yeah, he was a trainer of one of the guys on the 10 Bell Pod.
These guys look like the Mulkey brothers.
Here they are. I sent you a picture. That's the most perfect thing ever. That's a hard one. Mike Mancini was one I remember. The 1, 2, 3 kid was a jobber for a long time till he wasn't. Horowitz, Steve Lombardi, Iron Mike Sharp. He was another one.
That works, yeah.
Because they don't really have any. They don't have jobbers so much anymore. Not people that do it consistently.
They don't do in like squash matches all the time, and if they do, it's just they'll pull in some random from wherever they are.
Yeah. They used to have some great jobbers. Barry Horowitz was great.
I'm just going to go with the Job Squad, and I think there's only 3 of them, so if there's a 4th, then it's Dwayne Gill. Because I think the Blue Meanie, Al Snow, and Stevie Richards were just... I don't know if you would consider
those guys
them
were,
necessarily...
to me, they were like a step above jobbers.
Yeah.
Like, they never won, but they beat jobbers. You know, ham and eggers. It's a hard question, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Tomato cans.
Oh my god, there was another one, WCW. Fucking Roadblock. Do you guys remember Roadblock? The dude had the fucking shittiest gear. It was like a black singlet with like yellow tape on it, and he carried like a fucking road construction sign on his back. One of the little orange and white things that you have, you know, and he carried that on his back, and he came in. The dude was like 6'6", and he was probably like 340 pounds, and he lost every fucking match. Oh my god, he was so bad. The fucking Gambler. Oh my god, WCW was great. Do you remember the Gambler? He was on Saturday night for like.
Did you know when to hold him?
That was kind of the idea.
Did he know when to walk away?
He didn't.
He was in
Then he definitely didn't know when to
WCW for a long time.
Good.
93 to 99. He got beat by fucking everybody.
He looks like he got beat by fucking everybody.
Yeah, he has no hair. Barry O. I fucking remember Barry O too when I was a kid. He'd stand there, they'd introduce him, and he'd hold his arms up like this. Oh, I'm Barry O.
Shit, I want to add one to my list.
Yeah.
I can't think of his name right off. Marty Gardner.
Marty Gardner?
That's the guy that took. That's the guy from that GIF that always went around that took the fucking pedigree like he was setting up for, yeah, that one. Where we thought it was fucking like Matt or Jeff Hardy at some point. Like he didn't really understand what the pedigree was, so he kind of took it like he was going for a fucking Tiger Driver.
Oh, Jesus!
Another good set of jobbers, Los Conquistadores. From the
yes.
They never did shit. They had the Survivor Series tag team match where they had the tag teams teamed together, so it was like 10 versus 10, and if your team lost, you were out. And they were the last team in that for some fucking reason. They lost to the Powers of Pain, Max Moon, and the Toxic Turtles.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Fucking Toxic Turtles.
That's Conan.
Oh my god.
Wearing what looks to be a spacesuit, if it was invented by an 8-year-old. My mom made a better turtle costume than that. So what the fuck?
But could you work in it?
I mean, I probably could have. I should have. I didn't know.
I think the Toxic Turtles have just made my list of best jobbers. Tommy and Terry Turtle. That was their fucking name. Just the fuck.
Didn't even try to be clever.
Should have been Donnie and Mikey.
Tommy and Terry can't get sued. They got sued though, because I mean, look at that. It's just like the fucking Ninja Turtles.
It is. I have been Bud Robinson. This has been Leon Robinson. This has been Town Robinson. We've been talking about all sorts of things, and they've been talking about jobbers for way long, and I have no fucking idea who any of these people are. Except for Los Conquistadors. I know them.
Kurt Hawkins.
Kurt Hawkins is a jobber?
God, I can't get over the fucking Toxic Turtles. I don't know what to say.
Nobody can.